Hi, I'm Lauren Muma, and I'm the Administrative and Programming Lead.
Hi, I'm Kenneth Wadey, and I'm the Robotic Arm Lead.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Botas, and I'm the Modeling and Power Lead.
Hi, I'm Steve Sheehy, and I'm the Chassis Lead.
So this is the board that we built to test our robot. Take you through some of the features here. So we have a 1 foot square starting area that the robot has to fit in at start, and it has to recognize a red LED turning on to activate the robot and get the robot sequence started. From that point, we coded the robot to identify either a red or a green area over on the sides of the board. These areas represent manatees and alligators that we have to feed. These manatee and alligator areas can actually be swapped on the competition day, so we have to actually identify the location based on the color of the areas. After that, our robot on the competition day was designed to perform a sweep down to the recycling pin areas of all objects on the board. This was done due to design requirements on the competition day that we ran into, design complications rather. However, during the process of the design, we had designed a robot arm to be able to pick up any kind of loose debris, ducts or pedestals, and place them in this blue pond area. The ducts would go here. The pedestals could either go in these white circles, or they could be placed into the recycling areas where we would get some points.
For object recognition on our robot and our arm, we wanted to use a Pixie camera. This is the Pixie 2 camera, which we are able to hook up to our laptops to pre-program. Basically what this does is it can see an object, and then we select the color of a specific object, such as a duck, in a square pattern, and then the camera will recognize it as a signature. The camera can have up to 7 signatures, and we can edit the lighting, the brightness, and how much of the signature it can recognize. As you can see on the pictures here, we can change all the settings for each specific signature, and then we can reselect signatures if they are not working as we please. This helps us recognizing the red LED at the beginning of the playing field to start, and the camera can recognize a red LED when it's on versus when it's off based on the hue of the red at that specific color and how we programmed it. Next, the Pixie camera can recognize the red and the green pen, and that helps us properly place the chips into the specific pens to get the amount of points needed. Next, we programmed it to recognize the pond, the blue pond, and the ducks. And because these are different sizes, we made sure to allow different settings for each of those. Now, with the lighting changes varying based on the room that we are in, so we had to repetitively change the settings on the Pixie camera and adapt to our different settings. When we practiced in the IEEE lab, the settings would be different than when we moved the board out into the hallway. Likewise, when we went to the competition area, we had to reprogram the camera based on the lighting at several different times during the day.
So this is our chassis. In the front, we have 2 hoppers to hold in the feeding chips that we would use to do the initial objectives of the competition. They would open depending on what the Pixie Cam sees. We're running mechanism wheels to allow for good mobility throughout the competition, so we can strafe and go diagonal and all that fun stuff. We have this upper plate to allow for more storage. We have the battery usually mounted here, and an easy access kill switch as determined by the rule set. Underneath, we have our 2 microcontrollers to supply. The bottom is for, this microcontroller is for the chassis itself, and then this other side one is for the arm. And we have our battery, or our power distribution block terminal, and a step-down DC converter to power the microcontrollers and the hoppers themselves. Since these H bridges will supply our battery voltage to the motors themselves, we wanted to have a 6-volt rail for everything else. We also have in the front and the side, and the back, we have basically plows to move objects around the playfield and to push everything into the recycling bin.
This is the Kata robotic arm, completely printed in PLA. Only these parts right here are metallic. Everything else is modeled and printed in PLA. It's an open source arm. So for our design, we had to alter it for our needs, specifically up here in the gripper area. We expanded up the surface area of the grippers, elongated them to fit the objects we needed, and added these rubber bands for friction. Here for this servo, we had to model the gear horn a little longer and make it adjustable so it could really catch that gear and be able to rotate. Down here, in terms of the gears for the movement from the stepper motors, we made them much longer in order for them to catch the rails of the gears, and that allowed for much more reliance on them, and we would never see them step out.
We also were able to print and design and print a Pixie camera mount that was mounted to the front of the gripper. So we have a first-person view from the gripper's perspective of what it actually the arm wants to pick up.
So for our battery supply, we decided on 16.8 volts. That was decided upon the need of the chassis and the robotic arm integration. With the power supply, we determined that we tested several voltages, and we tested that this configuration would be the best in terms of current output, and be comfortable with a good battery for the competition. So we decided on this 4S 18650 in series. This allowed us for the voltage output, and then we also designed a secondary battery for testing. That obviously the 4S 2P configuration gives us much more milliamp hours to test extensively, and having two batteries is always a plus for a competition.
After the robot identifies the red LED at the start, it will move towards either a red or a green pen, depending on how the board is set up. With this, to identify the red or the green pen, we had to change the area of the pen on what the camera could identify, so it could identify if it was a red or a green pen. To do this, we looked on the Pixie camera at the specific area that it was showing that the object was detected, and based on how far away we wanted the robot to stop. Then we added the area into the code so it would stop when the camera saw that specific area of that specific color. After doing this, we wanted to do a strafing action to clear all of the objects on the pen and put them into the recycling bin at the best we can. In order to do this, we did a variety of stop, delay, backwards, forwards, and rotate and strafe functions. This way we could clear the board and cover as much area as we possibly can in the fastest amount of time possible. Our hope for this was to clear the board and get all of the objects into the recycling bin as fast as we possibly can.
Steven, looking for start your robot. Steven, start.
Hey,
Let's go.
he's in my way.
I got 10 points for auto start, so put 1 at the auto start.
Let's go. It's thinking. All right. Oh, we do need those things. We do need those things. That's done. We're done.
Second, yep.
That's instant.
Buddy, you know this route. You know this route.
All right.
Don't take him out. Don't take him out. Did you take him out?
We good?
I thought you just barked for a second.
No.
Nice.
This cock. Please don't take him out. Oh, there you go.
No.
No.
What's it stuck on?
Oh, okay.
There's a notch. There's a nick. Oh my god.
There's not a notch in the wood.
There's a notch in the wood.